Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today I'm going to be making some oatmeal raisin cookies. So I've got a stick of butter and 1/4 cup of cream cheese in this mixer, and we're going to cream this with all the sugars and get it all creamed up. So let's get started. This is a recipe that has been handed down in my family. It's not something that, you know, you could probably find. I'm going to post it on my blog page at potspansandpioneers.com just in case anybody wants to print it off. So you've got a stick of butter, you've got 1/4 cup of cream cheese. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Now I use all organics, so for some of you this will be white sugar, but for me this is pure cane sugar. So it'll work with either one, but I'm going to use, I try to use all organics as much as I possibly can get in there. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and add get these creamed up. I need to get my brown sugar, so 1 second. Let's see, I need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And get that. I make my own brown sugar, and if you want to see that video, it's in my video log. Just, you can type in brown sugar and you'll be able to find it. It's super easy to make. No reason you should be buying brown sugar. It costs too much. And sorry about my hand there. Okay, so we're going to add the brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup, and let's get this cream together. Now, if you like crispy oatmeal cookies, this is not the recipe for you. These oatmeal cookies always stay really soft, and they work great. If you have a metal tin, I keep all my cookies in a metal tin, which helps them maintain their softness, and they don't dry out and they don't get crispy. So I recommend that, you know, your cookie jars and everything like that, that you use metal tins, just because they keep cookies really soft. And I save them every year around Christmas time so that I can reuse them all year round by putting cookies in them. So, so to this we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, which also aids in keeping the cookies soft, just in case you didn't know that. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to add an egg, and I'm just using a large organic white egg. And we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher, but you could use just regular old salt if you choose. And we're going to use a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, let's get that creamed up together. You know, baking is a science, so if you dumped it all in here, you would still get good cookies. But there's always an improvement when you do things in layers with baking, because there's an actual science to how it all works out. Oops, sorry about that. And now we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to eyeball it, but you can do it however you like to do it. It's a science, like I said. I've done this recipe so many times, I know how much to do. But to get the exact same results, you need to use the exact items I'm using. So the results are going to vary depending on your climate and the brand of ingredients that you use, etc., etc. Okay, so our next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our flour, and it calls for 2 1/4 cups of flour. I'm just going to use regular AP flour. That's our oven, so we're ready. Now I'm going to add the flour a cup at a time so it doesn't like go everywhere. I hate that when the flour goes everywhere. So you just add a little bit at a time. We'll do a cup, and I'm just going to throttle it a little bit and so it doesn't get everywhere. I'm about to let that mix in really well. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup. And you're going to start to see it thicken up. And a 1/2 cup again. And then we'll do our 4th. Okay, you'll see it. I mean, if you look at this, it's just like, you know, cookie dough. Obviously. And then I'm going to sprinkle, you know, with oatmeal cookies, I like to use a pumpkin pie spice, but some people like to use cinnamon. So I like all the different spices that go into pumpkin spice, so I'm going to use pumpkin spice, but again, if you don't have it, you could just use cinnamon. We'll give this a little push. Now I'm going to add a cup of raisins in here. Whoops. Everybody in the pool. And we're going to add a cup of, or a cup and a 4th of oatmeal. I'm going to start with a cup. We'll just do a cup this time. Sometimes I add a 4th depending on how thick this is, you know. And it's going to move the machine around a little bit, but this is a workhorse, so we'll let it really mix in pretty well. We have a little bit of dry bits of oatmeal in the bottom of the bowl, so I'm going to add just a couple of tablespoons of whole milk and just see if I can get that incorporated. Just a little bit of milk, doesn't hurt it. Just to loosen up the dough up just a tiny bit. Yeah, see, it brought everything up in the dough. And this will mix really well together. Okay, we're going to move the camera. We're going to move to, I need to get my baking sheets ready. And I'm going to let it sit here and rest for a minute while I get the baking sheets ready, and I'll come back when I'm ready to put it on the baking sheets. Okay, we have our pan ready. I've sprayed the pan down with a non-stick spray. You could use parchment paper if you choose. And I've got a little ice cream scoop, and I'm just going to scoop out the dough onto the trays, as many as I can fit, but you don't want them too close to each other because you don't want them running together. You can also do this by hand if you want to, which I think I'm going to try, because your dough is going to be relatively thick. So I'm just going to put them a little spaces apart. And I think for this size pan, this will do rows of 3 pretty well. This is a great time to start testing your cookie recipes before the holidays. So this is a great cookie to have in a coffee mugs, along with candy or something like that if you're doing office gifts or anything like that. And this is an inexpensive cookie recipe, depending on, you know, what type of ingredients you're using. If it's all organic or if it's just the regular store brands. So. And I don't like a giant size cookie, but you could do giant size cookies if you wanted to. All right, we're going to put these in a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. I wouldn't cook them more than 12 minutes. So probably not a good time to go off anywhere without checking your oven, but I'm going to watch them. And I'm using a convection oven, so my temperature is at 350 for about 10-11 minutes. And then when they come out, we'll be back. Okay, I've decided to add something to this recipe. I'm going to make the filling for oatmeal cream pies. So I've got butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar. I'm getting a nod. Got powdered sugar, butter, cream cheese, and I buy this Torani syrups from Torani, and this is the I have a pumpkin spice one and I have a caramel one. So I'm just going to add, just like you would add vanilla, I'm just going to add a very tiny bit just to give it a little bit of flavor. And we're going to mix this up. I'm just going to taste. Perfect. Okay, so you don't want to ever put this on hot cookies. So you're going to have to let the cookies completely cool down before you try to put a filling on the inside. Otherwise, this has butter in it. And when you put hot butter on anything, I mean cold butter on something hot, what happens? We don't want that. We want to put this on room temperature or cold cookies. So when they come out of the oven, we'll have to let them completely cool down to be able to do the filled ones. So we will be back when they're out of the oven. Okay, we have a taste tester. That's the sandwich one with the filling I made. Good. And then the plain ones. Oh. Okay, well, all the cookies are gone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Everybody have a blessed day.